Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Good News series, the series where I break down the stuff list behind One Punch Man Season 3 before each episode even airs. Basically, I dive deep into who's working on the episode, the storyboarder, the director, key animators, all of them, and give you a better idea of what kind of quality we can expect when the episode actually drops. This time we are looking at episode 4, which hasn't aired yet, but the stuff list has already been revealed. So without further ado, let's take a look. So here's the stuff list, credit to YOLO. I'll be linking the actual account in the description of today's video. So here's the stuff list for episode 4 of One Punch Man Season 3. So for the storyboarder, obviously we will be getting Shinpei Nagai and Hirose Mitsuki as assistant storyboarder. This is pretty obvious. I've been expecting this already. And as for episode director, we got Nana Fujihara. Chief animation director, we got one Shinya Hasegawa. My goodness, by the way. We also got multiple key animators, and they are Etsuhito Mori, Takashi Miyamoto, Shogo Morishita, Nobuhiri Okazaki, Reiko Fujita, Ken Kamao, 36.5, and as for JC Staff Department, we got Kazumasa Shimoe, Kenichiro Aoki, Shota Minami, Keiki Ishida, and Ryo Ogata. Disclaimer, I'm not very sure how many animation director that has been listed because obviously this isn't actually from Donut but actually is from YOLO, someone that has been leaking frames and scenes from the actual episode itself. So I'm not very sure about the credibility of the entire list being listed down or not, because so far we only know there's only one chief animation director and it is Shinya Hasegawa, and that is actually a really good thing in terms of, well, how much of the actual production is struggling right now, and also the fact that having Shinya Hasegawa, one of the best animation director in JC stuff, is actually really good. So in a bit, I'll be giving some brief explanation on what this role does and also the person behind each role, their past work and all that. So yeah, let's get straight into the storyboard segment. Storyboard is where the director's vision starts to shape visually. These artists basically take the written script and then turn it into rough sketches to show how scene flows. So for episode 4, we got Shinpei Nagai as the storyboarder and Hirose Mitsuki as the assistant storyboarder, and to be honest, it's not even something that is shocking anymore because they have been the storyboarder for 4 episodes straight, and I'm pretty sure they are going to be handling, specifically director Shinpei Nagai will be handling most of the storyboards for literally the entirety of the season. So I really hope that more veterans, storyboarders or director or even key animators that are going to be participating in the future action episode will be able to help a lot in terms of the action storyboards in the future, because obviously there's going to be tons and tons of action in the future, as I have been informed. We can definitely see the vision behind what Nagai is trying to reach, but unfortunately everything just went wrong because last episode was pretty much outsourced and there has been some miscommunication that has happened behind the scene, and well, it didn't quite reach what Nagai was envisioning for his own storyboards. And yeah, obviously there's going to be a lot of mismanagement behind the scene when your production schedule is literally fucked up right now. So again, it's really unfortunate to see this thing happen. We can't really see the true capability of director Shinpei Nagai's storyboards at all, but again, that doesn't mean I am a huge fan of his way of storyboarding 1v1 action scenes. I personally am not a big fan of the panning out since it kind of drags away the intensity of the fight scenes. So I really hope in the future there are going to be more people that will be helping director Shinpei Nagai in terms of action storyboarding, because that is something that I truly am very interested in to see Nagai's full capability, because I can see his vision, it's just that it doesn't get executed very well. So again, let's hope in the future we will be able to see his true capability in terms of action storyboarding, but for now, it is what it is. And also at this point, I don't really care if the talking part are just one-to-one to the manga. It is faithful to the manga and I have nothing against that. But again, it's always appreciated to see something fresh. If they are putting much more effort into the action scenes, then I guess why not sacrifice the talking part for an actual manga accuracy, am I right? So again, I don't really have much hope for the talking scene whatsoever. It's just at this point, I'm accepting the fact that most of the talking scene will just be one-to-one to the manga. Well, obviously with some original scene to make it flow better, which is again something that I really appreciate. But again, it is an anime adaptation for a reason. There has to be something that will work better in the anime and not in the manga. But since it's faithful to the manga so far, there's really nothing much I can talk about other than let's hope for more original scene, more fresh more creative one, but I doubt that will happen in this episode. But let's see what will happen. Maybe I'll be wrong. I hope my words age like milk. Wait, milk? Now with that being said, let's move on to episode director Nana Fujihara. So, think of the episode director as the coordinator of pretty much everything in the episode itself. They're not animating directly, but they're the one that will be approving animation layouts, direct the photography team, and basically make sure every department aligns with the episode's tone. Alright, so looking at Nana Fujihara's previous works, we can definitely see that this is another director from the same Fujishiro production line, since this guy has worked on 2.5 Dimensional Seduction and also Megalomir Magical Girls. But unfortunately, I myself actually never watched any of this particular show, which is unfortunate. I did watch Dr. Stone, but not until season 4 or even season 3 of it. Should I pick it up back? I'm not sure. But yes, unfortunately, I can't really give too much of an input for this particular person, but since the next episode is most likely slice of life content, more of a talking based episode with a little bit of an action in the final few moments of it, it should be fine. But let's just hope that the pacing and overall tone of it will be okay. Now next one we got Chief Animation Director or Sousakuga Kantoku. This is one of the most important roles, I would say, but again, every roles are very important, but their job is to maintain consistency in how characters look across every cut. Even if multiple animators work on the same scene, the Chief Animation Director ensures that everyone still look like the same person, on model and faithful to the character designs. And for this episode, we only got one Chief Animation Director and not any animation director listed, which again is pretty weird considering the fact that we had tons of it working in episode 3, but this time we only got one Chief Animation Director with no animation directors at all. Maybe it has been left out whatsoever, I'm not very sure on that, but we got Shinya Hasegawa, one of the best animation directors in JC stuff. I would say, I would argue that this particular person's correction is one of the best because he is also the same person that did corrections for the opening of this season as well. Same goes for the episode 1 that had tons of really polished drawing quality. So again, this is a really good news, I would say. You guys got it? Okay. But yes everyone, one Chief Animation Director, meaning they didn't really need all of the help they can get, considering the fact that this episode is most likely going to be a dialogue heavy one. And maybe it's not going to move that much. They only needed one Chief Animation Director and is literally one of the best one in JC stuff. But again, I'm expecting some really good consistency considering the fact that this guy has a really good portfolio. So again, Shinya Hasegawa working on this episode as a Chief Animation Director is really good. Last but not least, we got the key animators, and obviously the highlight here is Kenichiro Aoki. Since the last part of this episode will pretty much have an action scene, this guy will obviously going to be carrying them. But you know what would be funny? If this is the last time he's going to show up, because obviously Mugen Gacha, another JC stuff project, is actually ongoing right now, and he actually did work on one of the few cuts in that particular show as well. So I'm pretty concerned that he will be switching here and there and not really be on the One Punch Man as the main action animator, but let's hope for the best. But yeah, those are pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I am very late for this one, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next good news video. Goodbye.